Hello, everybody. My name is Yael, and I'm coming to you here. The sun is literally coming out. Oh, thank you, Ra. Oh, wow, this is beautiful. My perfect spot for talking. I just felt like sharing a little insight on about relationships. You could take it platonic, you can take it intimate, you can take it, romantic. My insight is just that you can press the brakes on behavior with others anytime you feel called. And I just had that image come into pressing the brakes is like when you continue a pattern over and over, and that's all we do as humans. We continue the patterns that we've learned as children in our childhood and society in whatever conditionings we've had, and those automatic reactions we have, and even in relationships where we cycle and cycle and cycle again and again throughout the same patterns with different people. Sorry, I keep moving the camera. I just want to find a cute spot. When we go through those patterns, we can get stuck in them and we're comfortable with them, so we just repeat them. But what I recently just, experienced, and I've experienced it before, but I experienced it recently, is just pushing the brakes and breaking that. We can observe ourselves, and we usually just go in our minds and talk to ourselves, talk to others. We ask our friends for advice, but the truth is we should be comfortable talking to whoever it is, that person who's causing the issue for us, and just addressing it with compassion, and addressing it with honesty and with self-respect is the biggest thing I've learned recently. And I think that it's important for us to know that we can press the brakes whenever we need to, whenever we want to. And again, by that I mean cutting it, putting up the boundary that you need to put up with someone to shift the relationship. And then from that point, you're really going to see how aligned they are in your life and how meant to be that relationship is. If it's meant to be, that person will be able to work through it with you. And if it's not, that person will leave. And that is in the divine order that you need in your life. So that's what I believe. And I think that was my insight recently, is we need to stop selling ourselves short, and in big and small ways. And relationships are big things in our lives. And whether it's a family member, whether it's a lover, whether it's a friend, I think it's important just to really make sure that every relationship in our life can be feeding us and nourishing us, and we don't need to have relationships that make us feel stress. I'm not saying that relationships are going to be 100% easy all the time. Of course, conflicts come up, and that's okay, and that is normal, and that is part of working and with each other and growing together in all kinds of connections. But I'm specifically talking about relationships that are just always making you feel drained, or making you feel exhausted emotionally, sad, depressed, frustrated, or making you wish that this person could just be a different way when they're not actually showing up in that way. And again, actions speak much louder than words for me. At this point in my life, I don't have time to wait for any promises. I need to see action. Speaking for women, I know a lot of my friends who've stayed in relationships, including myself in my earlier years, when I was in a romantic relationship with someone who was telling me how they were gonna change and do this and that, and and it was what I wanted, but it was also for their own good, the things I wanted for the people I was with. Drinking less, doing less cocaine, partying less, things like that. And just, I was in a intense scene. And I think that, I think that it's important to stop wasting our time, claim the time for yourself, of hoping and wishing and wasting on people. Are only going to step up when they're ready to step up. People are only going to face themselves when they're ready to. You cannot make someone face themselves. So I think that it's important for us to honor that, forgive, and go back to us. Feed yourself. Work on you. Take that time that you would, waste on someone trying to make them change into changing yourself, into elevating yourself, into implementing practices and things into your life, and joy and creativity and whatever it is that, your projects, your work, your child, your family, like whatever you want to work on, and nourish you, take care of you, and let's not, sit around and hope for people to change. And that's what I've learned recently. Long picture, wide picture, and short picture, big picture and small picture. Don't waste your time, and please love yourself and respect yourself, because self-love and self-respect feels 55 million billion times better than lowering yourself for someone who is just not meeting your needs or respecting you in the way that you deserve to be respected, really, and loving you in the way that you deserve to be loved, because of their own capacity to love themselves. It has nothing to do with you. And that's also important to remember. And then having compassion for them, because they have their own process that they're going through, and not demonizing them, but understanding that they cannot show up for you because they can't show up for themselves, or because you're not aligned. So either way, it all works out in the divine order. It all works out under the ordinance of the divine, the creator, the universe. So let's all take care of ourselves in the way we need, and just, it's 2021, and it's time to, an important time to feed your soul, feed your body, feed your heart, feed your mind, feed your emotions, and find your mission and embody it. And when you do that, the things you need will fly to you. So that's my message for today. You can press the brakes whenever you feel need. Don't be afraid to do it, because you deserve the best. Sat Nam.